Hello, I'm Rachel Strutt with the Somerville Arts Council. We are teaming up with Somerville Community Access Television to launch a storytelling project. So we are driving the MUSCRAT bus around town, inviting people to get on board and sharing stories about the past, the present, as well as hearing people's vision for the future. Now you may wonder, why am I calling it the MUSCRAT bus? Well, the MUSCRAT is an acronym. It stands for Multi-Use Somerville Community Roving Art Transport. So if you see the bus around town, we invite you to get on board. We're doing lots of different activities on the bus. But today we're doing a storytelling project. So let's get on the bus and listen to one of these stories.
I grew up in Somerville. I grew up on Beacon Street. This square was very special to me when I was growing up because I attended St. Joseph's School right here in the square. We walked to school. That was just, it was the quote neighborhood school. We walked to school. We enjoyed this square tremendously. Everything that was important to us was in the square, so we took dance lessons in this square, and we bought our new shoes for school in this square, and we went to the library because there was a branch library in the square. We went there after school, and we had our Girl Scout meetings here in the square, and the square was just a wonderful place to be when you were young, and I was young a long, long time ago, but it was a great place to be. And my mom would shop at Backer's Hardware, and there was just so many things to do here when you're, young and you're 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. It was just a great place to be.
The arts are where the soul of a community and a city reside, in my opinion. They tell the story of the community, as you know about with food. It tells the story of a community of peoples. And I think it's one of the reasons why that the arts and the lively arts and diverse arts in the city of Somerville have made the city a place to go, because there's music, there's painting, there's poetry, there's galleries, and people really want that. They may not realize it all the time, but it really does. I'm going to come back here too. The arts are where the soul and the history and the story of a community are. And Somerville has done a great job, and the Arts Council, I think, has done a great job of nurturing that, and I'm proud to be part of working to keep that happening.
I love Union Square because it's one of the most diverse neighborhoods in Somerville. We work with a lot of immigrant populations whose native language isn't English, so we want to make sure that we can help them participate in their community by different means. We also work with a lot of renters, communities of color, and so that's, for me, it adds to the vibrancy of Union Square. And so we want to make sure that everyone is able to be involved in their community and participate in a lot of the different exciting planning initiatives going on. The worry is that a lot of the vulnerable populations we work with are on the brink of displacement, so they have real worries right now, and they usually come in for a service related to being evicted from their homes or having just lost a job. And so while they come in typically as a client to have access to a service, they get looped into our organizing and planning work because they see how important it is, just not their story is important, but it also is a larger narrative around displacement and making sure that they can afford to live in the community they love.
Growing up in the city then is really not unlike today, except today we're even more diverse. We speak more than 52 languages in our neighborhoods, in our squares, in our schools. We still have that urban edginess, which we really love, and we are very cultural diverse. We're also still very artistically diverse. I think even more so today. The robust, creative sort of original culture and characteristic of this square and these neighborhoods is something we've always prided ourselves on. It's really what is guiding our light for the future.
So we moved down here, what, 7 years ago from Burlington, Vermont? Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things that we loved about Vermont, where we'd lived for 10 years, was how much, kind of sense of identity and community and pride there was there. When we moved down to the city, didn't think we were going to find it. Didn't think we were going to find anything like that. And we moved and we found Somerville, and sure enough, very, very similar vibe. I think it made us feel right at home right away.
Well, and Somerville's created such a brand for itself and such a reputation that everyone who's here wants to live here, and it has the pride, and you can kind of feel it when you walk on the street.
The only story that I have about Union Square growing up is I went to Berklee College of Music, and I wanted to do a music video. I did 3 music videos at SCATV in 1986. And I gotta tell you, it was such a trip. And I could use the word trip because I'm from that generation. Because I had a whole leather outfit on, and of course I was a lot slender, but it was great. I brought in my band and we played rock and roll music. It was crazy. And I went, wow, Union Square rocks, literally. And I have some of those videos too.
You might need to share those with
Yeah, you'll say, is that JoJo?